Hey, welcome! Today we're going to tackle a really big idea, something that pretty much goes against everything we've been taught. You know, the whole get a good degree and you'll be set for life thing? Well, we're about to see why, in the real world of money, your financial statement speaks way louder than your diploma ever will.
All right, let's just cut right to it with this question. Seriously, have you ever imagined walking into a bank for a huge loan and the manager asks to see your report card? No way, right? It sounds totally ridiculous. And yet so many of us are programmed to believe that our academic achievements are the most important thing.
And this is where it gets super interesting. We've all seen it, right? People with less formal education who are just crushing it financially, getting big loans, building businesses. It feels backward. It happens because they get something that most schools just don't teach, the language of money. So what's their secret?
Well, the secret is that in the world of finance, there's a completely different scorecard. It has nothing to do with your GPA or what university you went to. Nope. It's a document that tells the stone-cold truth about your financial health. Let's just be crystal clear on this. When you walk in asking for capital, whether it's for a business or a house, the loan officer is not going to ask for your college transcripts. That piece of paper, it carries almost zero weight in that room. This right here is the document that holds all the power. Your financial statement, that is the true test of your financial IQ. It's the story of how you handle your money, and believe me, it's the first thing, maybe the only thing, that lenders and investors are going to read.
And we're not just talking about a small personal loan here. This is the exact same tool used by everyone, from your local bank all the way up to the biggest entrepreneurs on the planet. I mean, think about it. Guys like Ratan Tata and Mukesh Ambani, they aren't getting billion-dollar loans because of their degrees. They get them because their financial statements are rock solid, showing exactly how they'll use that money to grow.
So what is this magic document? It sounds kind of complex, maybe a little intimidating, right? But honestly, at its heart, it's built on 4 really simple, really powerful ideas. And just getting these 4 things is the first massive step to taking control.
So when you boil it all down, the game is incredibly simple, isn't it? It's all about these 4 boxes. You've got income and assets, that's the stuff that puts money into your pocket. And then you've got expenses and liabilities, the stuff that takes money out of your pocket. The entire goal, the whole strategy, is to make the in columns bigger and the out columns smaller. That's it. That's financial health in a nutshell.
Now just look at this number for a second. 8 out of 10. This number represents a massive, and I mean massive, gap in knowledge.
According to the source material, this is the reality. 8 out of 10 people are basically flying blind with their money because they don't truly get these 4 simple pillars. Now think about that. Just by understanding what we're talking about right now, you're jumping into the top 20%. You're giving yourself a huge, huge advantage.
Okay, so knowing the rules of the game is one thing, but how do we actually start winning? How do you build a financial statement that makes people say yes to you? It really comes down to a simple 3-step action plan.
These are the 3 core habits you need to build. First, you've got to master your budget, so you're the one telling your money where to go. Second, you need to become an investor, so your money starts working for you around the clock. And third, you have to learn to manage debt, so you can use it as a tool instead of letting it become a trap.
First up, budgeting. And let's not think of this as being restrictive. It's about being intentional. It's about being in control. This is the foundation that makes everything else work. And a fantastic place to start is the super simple but super powerful 50-30-20 rule.
So here's the basic blueprint. 50% of your income goes to your absolute needs. We're talking rent, food, bills you have to pay. 30%, that's for your wants, going out to eat, new shoes, entertainment. And that last 20%, this slice is non-negotiable. It goes straight to savings and investments. This is you paying your future self first.
Now here's a really important note. This rule is a fantastic starting point, especially for anyone earning under about 4 lakh rupees a year. But as your income grows, that 20% number should get a whole lot bigger. The more you earn, the higher your savings rate should be. All right, on to habit number 2. And this, my friends, is where the real magic happens. Budgeting helps you carve out that 20%, but just letting that cash sit in a bank account is a losing game. Inflation will slowly eat it for lunch. To build actual wealth, you have to put that money to work. You have to become an investor. And you do not need to be rich to start. The advice is to start small with something simple, like an ETF, an exchange-traded fund. It's a great way to get started.
Then, as you build up more capital and confidence, you can look at other things, maybe even real estate. But the main takeaway here is incredibly direct. Those who invest, they become rich. Full stop. It's not a suggestion, it's just how the system works. And finally, we have habit number 3, managing debt. And this one requires a pretty big mindset shift. Most of us are taught that all debt is bad, but that's just not true. Financially smart people know there's a huge difference between debt that drowns you and debt that builds you up.
And the difference is actually really simple to understand. Good debt helps you buy assets, things that can grow in value or make you more money. Think a loan to expand a business or a mortgage on a rental property. Bad debt, that just pays for, well, stuff. A loan for the newest phone, a fancy wedding, things that lose their value almost instantly. The goal is to use good debt like a pro and avoid bad debt like the plague.
So when you bring all this together, when you start managing your income, your expenses, your assets, and your liabilities using these 3 habits, you're not just dealing with numbers anymore. You are crafting a story, your story. This is the story a bank or an investor wants to read. It's a story that shows you have consistent income coming in, that your expenses make sense, that your assets are growing, and your liabilities are shrinking. It shows you're disciplined, you're smart, and you're a good bet.
And this quote, wow, this really just sums up the entire mindset, doesn't it? It's a declaration. It's about focusing on what actually builds financial power and opens doors in the real world. Forget the diploma on the wall. My financial statement, that has to be solid.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. If a lender were to look at your financials today, right now, what story would it tell them? Is it a story of control, of growth, of someone who understands the game? Or is it something else? Because the best part is, you are the author. You have the power to write that story starting today.